Hello and a very good morning to you. Hope you're well. This is Wednesday. Wednesday, what are we on now? We're on the 29th of July. Jeepers. Already it's 29th of July. Anyway, very good morning to you. I hope you're well wherever you are. I'm Phil Griggs. I'm your host for Cafe Clairvoyance. Lovely to see you. And welcome to the show. If you've never joined in the show before, then this is the Spiritual Astrology Show. Here we do a lot of spirituality. We do a lot of astrology. We have lots of chats about what's going on out there in the atmosphere and how we can make your lives more entertaining, better, how to help you through this mad time we're going through, if I'm allowed to call it mad, if that's the right word. I'm not too sure. But anyway, right, okay, let's get the music going, let's get the show on the road, and let's go meet Guillermo very shortly. Well, okay, so how have you been feeling? If I can be so bold as to ask. Yes, how have you been feeling? How have your energy levels been? Has life been going along smooth? Or is it feeling like you're going through the motions of the waves and what sorts here? So we're here this morning to discuss all this, and we've got everybody saying good morning this morning. Even Guillermo saying good morning, and you've brought on the show here. And here is Maria. She's saying good morning too, as is Lydia. Good morning to you all. And okay, so let's have a little chat with you guys here. Let's bring on Guillermo. Let's go over miles down the road there to Javier, about 15 minutes away, and talk to our good friend Guillermo. Yes. Some people say that she was born with the maps of the heavens as she came into this world. Some people say she's a Capricorn. Some people say here she's a guru with the stars. But let's go and find out. Good morning, Guillermo. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. I'm quite good, actually. I love that when you just said about I was born with a map of the skies in my head. I love it. That's beautiful.
Good. I'm just trying to find different ways. Yeah, just trying to find different ways to bring in the energy, discuss everything with you. My goodness, there's loads of you on this morning. What's going on out there, guys? Right, no, it's actually wonderful. This is what you have to do, as we've sort of said before, actually. When you're at work, guys, all you do is you go around with your notepad, which you know if you're working in the office, and you just, there's your notepad, you just put the phone in the middle so you can watch what's going on in the show. Just looking at your notepad there, guys, hard work today. Really isn't. You've got your earphones in, listening to the show. Listen to Guillermo and I having a good chat about the stars, helping you through the week ahead and how things are going to progress for you. So let's have a good old look here. So Lydia's saying good morning, as is Elodie, as is Karen. Good morning all. Hope you're all on this sunny day. Yeah, it's getting hotter out here. It's about to go up to 40 degrees out here. It's going to be a bit of a hottie. Yes, I don't mind this weather. I quite like it, but it's difficult trying to sleep in it. Oops. But well, you can't complain with everything. You can't have everything. And right, Bev says, fine, thanks. Just come back to see the family. That's lovely. Well, you're one of the lucky ones here. And Bill says, good morning, Phil. How are you? I am very well, thank you, Bill. Very nice to see you. You're up in Cumbria, all the way up in the very north of England there, where there's snow, there's polar bears, there's ice caps, and there's all sorts up there. Not really, but we just like to add a little bit of, yes. And even Karen Canavan says hello, and we're all saying hello. And a very good evening to producer, and yes. So, as we've discussed here, but just get the show on the road, energy at the moment. We've got a moon that's gone through Scorpio, and yesterday, talking to everybody on the Tuesday show, everybody was like, woo, up in the air, back down, up in the air, back down. How's the energy at the moment? How are we doing out there?
Well, there's a lot of Pluto being activated, so that's all about cellular memories in the past, and Mercury is in Cancer in opposition to Pluto, making a T-square with Mars and Lilith. So, and it's augmented with Jupiter. So it's a lot of stuff from the past coming up. I mean, when you said that I was born with a map of the heavens, I wanted to pick up on that because it's a nice metaphor. So all the emotions we feel. I know this is difficult to get your head around, so I'm not going to ask anybody to believe this, but just contemplate it as a possible hypothesis and start thinking about life like this maybe, so you kind of, it might make sense for you. So the hypothesis is every feeling that you have, everything that happens to you that triggers your ego, all those emotions belong to the past, belong to your ancestor, belong to your past lives, belong to other times. Why is this? What's going on here? So basically, like Phil was saying, I was born with a map of the stars in my head. Actually, I was, because the way I got into astrology, so first it attracted me. For years, I barely knew anything. And then suddenly, one day, I did one exercise. I went to like this very basic class, and I did one exercise on my own. And then suddenly everything clicked in, and I was able to read a chart. So I never learned to read a chart. I was just able to read a chart from one moment to the next. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, where does this come from? Well, this comes from those past memories, those cellular memories that we have in our bodies that get triggered, that we, because of the fact that we don't know how that works, we get into the story. And by getting into the story, it's like we're pushing those cellular memories back in. So we repeat and repeat and repeat the same old stories instead of actually releasing the memory and getting the benefit of the talents that are inherent in that cellular memory. So basically what we're doing always as human beings is relating to the past via the pain instead of the talents. And I think it's about time, and all this year is really inviting us to do that, to really be ourselves, integrate our talents. And the way to do it is releasing the cellular memories. And why am I saying that today? Because Mercury in Cancer in opposition to Jupiter and Pluto, forming a T-square with Lilith, and in Aries with Mars. It's all about connecting with that resentment of emotions that are coming up, that are making you feel not good. And it could be different types of emotions, but when we're talking about Leo, because Sun is in Leo, basically it's about resentment, frustration. Those are the typical emotions of Leo. Leo resonating low, so Leo with a high vibe is all about happiness and togetherness. Leo low vibe is about frustration and resentment. Why? Because it's like, I'm looking at the past, I want the past to be different, and come on, do something different, do something. But you're looking at the past, you're looking at the same things. So it's about time to just lift your gaze and look in the other direction. So this is what the energies are kind of inviting us to do. And how do they do that? Well, we have an expression in Spanish, which is sticking the finger in the wound. Okay. I don't know if it exists in English.
Yeah, similar.
But it's kind of very graphic, no? So it's like, okay, how can you heal something? How can you heal a wound? Well, actually opening it up and letting all the yuck, all the pus come out, and then clean it, and then clear it.
Yes.
If you just close the wound up and don't clean it and don't clear it and don't, heal it over and over again, then it's just going to get infected. And that's what we're going to see now. We're going to see old infected wounds related to what I really want in life.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because we've come out of this Cancer Capricorn thing, where everybody was feeling this balance of needing security, needing where their lives were going, and trying to form a balance and feeling safe, feeling that they felt protected, security and things like this. And now we're coming to this Leo energy, which initially went whoop. Everybody went up in the air going, fantastic, fantastic. Yay, yeah. We can sing, we can dance, we can go down the beach, we can go down to the lake, we can go to the park and play on the swings. That's always good fun. Anyway,
exactly.
Yes.
But the thing is still, in comes the light, out comes the shit. So in comes the beautiful Leo light. There we are happy. What does that light do? Yeah. It says, hey, the guy, look, I'm pouring this light inside you, and it's, ooh, you got some muck here. And it comes out, and you can feel it, and you can see it. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually the reason you can feel it and you can see it. It's because there's light coming in and it's bringing it up.
Yeah.
So that's the opportunity we have to clear it. Because if we don't clear it, our bodies can't resonate with the next step of evolution. And that's what we want to do.
Now, going back to this, because this is so interesting what you're saying. And you were saying very earlier on there, and I was saying, I just came up through the top of my head here, you were born with the map of the heavens in your mind. And it's interesting here, how many of you guys out there have walked into a career which you've just gone, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. It's almost like it's second nature immediately. And sometimes that is the reincarnation, isn't it, of what we've done before, coming back into this world, doing the same thing. And I remember when I was learning astrology in London, my tutor there was saying to me, he says, you've got this this Jupiter in the first house. This is something that you've had a few times before. And it may have been his. He says that there's something. He used to call me the Reverend, the Reverend from the church. I think, oh, okay. But there is this type of energy there. He says here, this is something which is playing out. So when I took up astrology, or took up mediumship and spirituality, I just felt like I'm home. I'm home.
Exactly.
I'm in the world I need to go and be in. And it's interesting how many of us can step into a world, even spiritually. And sometimes I say here, even the energy's got the moment. For you guys out there who are stepping into this and feeling this is so natural, but you're not doing it.
Yeah. And the chart, the astrology chart is beautiful in that sense because, for example, with the placement of Jupiter, we can actually see what talents we've mastered in a past life, sort of say. This doesn't mean that you have to believe in past lives or not. It's a way of expressing astrology, okay? So you come in with talents that have been cultivated in this reality, okay?
Yeah.
Then you will also come in with talents that have been synthesized from this reality and belong to your soul.
Yes.
Okay, and that information I get it from Lilith, you get it from Chiron, a bit Uranus. Then Pluto gives us stuff that has to do with the Earth domain also. It also tells us like the comfort zone. The South Node also tells us, okay, you've developed this already, now you have to go to something else. So there's lots of indicators of talents that we have that have been developed in the 3 dimensions and talents that have been distilled from the 3 dimensions and are integrated in your soul, and they just have to be connected.
Yeah.
They have to be connected.
It's interesting when we put this all together, and some of us say here, maybe still searching. Okay, well, what it is here is where do your heart feel at home? Where did your heart feel good? Is it something that you want to do a job which is very creative, that you feel so at home doing? It's like, I could do this with my eyes closed, with your things like this here. Those particular types of jobs, or those particular relationships you're in, where you just go, this is easy, rather than having to try to make things work or trying to work in that way there. And yes, it's all good stuff. I think this lovely start off to the session this morning. Brilliant.
Yeah, and as you were saying about the heart, I mean, I've said this before in other shows, but I will never cease to insist, and especially this year, 2020, it's all about getting down from the head and into the heart. Right now, your head hasn't got a clue of what the future is going to be like because we're jumping timelines. So jumping timelines means basically we're leaving like big, huge blocks of patterns that we've been repeating in patriarchy for 5,000 plus years.
That's a lot of years.
And we're jumping into a new way of being in this world. So our mind just can't grasp what that's going to look like. And you might intuitively have like some like hints of what might come, but your coffee mind, your monkey mind is just not able to get around it fully. Yeah. So if we try, we can actually block our thrust forward to our best future possible and get stuck in the past again. So it's very important not to use the mind to rationalize where you're going to, because that's probably most likely going to just bring you down and make you get stuck in the past. When you get stuck in the past, you feel frustrated, you feel angry. It's like things aren't going, feel stuck. So you don't want to be there. You want to connect with the heart, and you want to clear your heart. So it's your heart, the one that guides the way you're going to. You want your heart to choose. And the way for your heart the way to do that is you can train your heart. First, you have to clear it from all the emotional debris we suck up every day listening to other people's like fear-mongering or troubles or worries or stuff. So it's like really not very healthy to listen to other people's stories all the time. Like one thing is, okay, you have a friend, you have a spouse, whatever. Oh my God, look what happened to me. You listen to that for like 1 or 2 minutes and then you change the subject. But if you keep on sucking in people's problems or you watch TV, your heart's going to get mucked up with a lot of emotional, yucky old debris. And then the radar isn't going to work. So you want to clear that on one hand. And on the other hand, what you want to do is train it so it's a good chooser. So what you do is you just go around every single day choosing all the little things that make you feel better. Like, do I want to take a walk now? Do I want coffee? Do I want tea? Do I want the red mug? Do I want the yellow mug? Do I want to wear this? What's going to make me more happy now? So making a lot of tiny little decisions that make you feel better in the now is going to train your heart so the radar really fine tunes and works really well and will guide you the direction you have to go to.
I think this is every saying. Maria says so true. Sally says thinking I do listen to others too much, and Emily says very interesting. Now this is some stuff. Now is when we're thinking of the past 5,000 years. Past 5,000 years, we're changing our thinking, and we've been around for I don't know 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we're having to learn this new process because in our DNA. We know what this 5,000 years has been like because whether you believe in past lives or not, this digital encoding is already in your mind. It's already there for that past 5,000 years. And this lifetime, you've come into this particular time phase of 2020, especially living your life to prepare for 2020, to be the forerunners, guys out there, all of us here, all spiritual people, everyone out there, to embrace the new heart energy. And to clear out the old energy of the heart. Now, for a lot of people, they go, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll just think of, I put a crystal there. That'll do. That clears it out. A bit deeper than that, we need to go. Because we've got to clear out this old energy that we have been following, doing, patterning, and to make way for the new. So this is go on. I know when that finger comes up, I'll stop.
But it's very important that we don't clear out that energy with the mind.
Okay.
Because the way we've been clearing out before is, I have a problem. I have to fix this problem. And right now, if you think you have to fix a problem because you have a problem, you're just going to create the problem. You're going to feed the problem. Yeah. So it's very important that we just don't rationalize it. It's like, I'm feeling, this is old. I don't want it anymore. You're not rejecting it. You're accepting the fact that you're feeling something old, but then you go, okay, it's old. Universe, can you please take care of this? I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
As simple as that. But it has to be very methodic and very proactive.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's interesting here to get people to say, to come out of the head and go into the heart. A lot of people say, yeah. How'd you do that? How do you do this? Well, it's interesting here because, as you're saying here, we're all used to that pattern where we think logically how things got to be in front of us. And really, if we're trying to put a new pattern into something which has changed, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I totally agree with you about letting go of the old patriarchy, about letting go of the old emotions of ancestors, patterns, leaving behind old coding to move forwards in your life, to be free in your own heart is powerful stuff. And that can take this sometimes here we can get the awareness of this fairly quickly, but the experience of doing can take you a lifetime. But you're doing it.
Yeah. This is why, I know this is you work as a medium, right? So this is not to say anything against what you're doing, because in a way, also what you're doing has a purpose in the sense that you calm people's mind by giving them a glimpse of the future. And that also helps you get down to the heart. But it shouldn't be like the person who's on the receiving end, you shouldn't just rely on what Phil or whatever medium will tell you, because that means you're not doing your part. It's very important that when you're told.
Very big
when you're
point.
told. So the medium is going to help you calm the mind and give you a little bit of clarity. But it's always up to you, and it's your heart, the one that's going to choose the way. So you really have to take the benefit of having a calmer mind to work on the heart.
Yes.
When you hear something from the future. Because anyway, each one of us, if we're connected to our heart and our higher self, because we're connected to our heart, what's going to happen is that you will gravitate towards your best future possible. It's a question of gravity. It's a question of pull.
I think with this as well, I think in anything you're doing spiritual, anything you're doing mediumship, healing, hand reading, tarot cards, anything like this, a lot of this work when the person is working to their true and higher self, although we always say here we're working from the higher self, but it's like something above your mind, actually the connection is always your heart. Always your heart. So, and the spirit flows in and out of here. We're too scientific up here for spirit to get through. They're going to go like, how do you get through that DNA coding? Well, what else going on there? Going to say, forget that frequency. Let's go through the heart. Well, actually, it goes to the solar plexus. A lot, quite a lot of this, which is where you're. If you look at levels of consciousness, for instance, this is what we've got to change the consciousness. The consciousness is in the head. We've always relied on that in the past. We've always said here, consciousness in the head. But as this last year and the previous year, we're warming up to the idea, well, actually, there's a second consciousness that said was our heart. And then we said, hang on a minute, no, there's another consciousness. It's our gut. And then we said, no, there's another one. Of course there is. It's our hands. Because as soon as you touch people, as soon as you get a feeling of something, you're going to get a vibration. You know, vibration or feeling through to you. It's interesting here when I do palmistry and working with palmistry and hand reading, even just doing the introduction to this. In fact, I'll do a palmistry trick with you. Actually, not palmistry, a palmistry notion with you. But when you shake someone's hand, when that person gives you a 7 out of 10 handshake back, 7 out of 10 pressure back, you think, yeah, I like this. It's a nice person, probably quite a nice person. The worst thing is when you shake someone's hand and they're like 4 breakfast sausages, where you're shaking it. Oh God, you just go right off a person altogether. No, just exit. Where's the exit button? Press it. And it's interesting.
Because the person that is like that is not very present in their body.
No, they're not very present at all. But it makes the person who wants to give, hi, how you doing? They go, okay, can't find you, can't see you, where are you? And they back off. Those people tend to back off quite a lot.
Yeah, but I want to insist on this. So if a person gives you a limp hand, it means that they're not present in their body, which means that they are stuck cleaning up the past. So if you engage with this person, you're going to start sucking up the past too.
Yes.
Whereas a person who is present in their body, they're more creative and they're more future orientated. So that's why it's interesting.
It is interesting. And also, when you give a handshake here, normally most of the time there should always be 90 degrees like this. The moment you have someone who shakes your hand and they twist their hand on top of yours, notice how that would feel. Those people there are trying to dominate or control, here. And you could be seen as dominating, controlling if your hand goes on top. Your hand goes on top when you're doing a handshake. Watch how people do this. Sometimes when you get that feeling, they're trying to twist your hand on top. Quickly twist it back. Let them know, hey, you're not having one over on me, buddy. Yes, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Body language just through hands is amazing. It's incredible. Yes. Paul Sarah is at a beautiful location this morning. He's at Duxford, which is a historical air museum in England from going back to early aviation right up to modern times. It's an absolutely beautiful place. If you're into planes and you're in England, go to that place. Duxford is amazing, beautiful place. It's just a nice place to walk around as well. It's a lovely atmosphere. So blessings to you, Paul. And he's got no time to visit the museum, but we salute those guys anyway. Right. Okay. Good. Okay. And you could tell so much more from a handshake. Yes, you absolutely can. And when you really get into palmistry and you really observe this very closely, as if someone puts their pressure on your hand here, you get to notice which finger has greater pressure, because that tells you a lot too. So when you shake someone's hand, you get the awareness very quickly. Which finger is it? Because that tells you a lot about the character as well. So interesting when you get into palmistry. Brilliant. Don't like a limp lettuce handshake. Yes, as you say here, I think it's right, Gilbert. We're way back there somewhere, and you're someone who's in the present is not going to want to draw back into something of the past because they feel like, hey, okay, what am I getting involved in here? So yes, so it's interesting, guys. So in astrology this morning, we're talking about this new energy of 2020. Actually, it's been around a bit earlier than 2020, but this year we're in it. It's getting us to experience this change of the patriarchy of the past 5,000 years, the old systems, the old ways we used to work, and coming out of the head and going into the heart. And it's interesting here talking to a lot of guys who actually say, yeah, I don't want to work the same way I used to. I don't want to work from 9 in the morning to 9 at night and slog my heart out to go and try and provide for everybody. They now want to say, actually, I want an easier life and just enjoy life. And that's working from the heart. Really is working from the heart. And doing things, doing jobs where you work from the heart. And I think some of you here.
And Phil,
Yes.
the thing is, well, in my experience of all the people that I know, and I know quite a lot of people that have, have been, the way they've been affected by the quarantine, the people who have been doing their inner work and, were more aware by the time quarantine came around, they had naturally gravitated to a situation where the quarantine was the best thing that could have happened to them. So
I absolutely agree.
This means that if you're aware, if you're connected to your heart will navigate you through any situation. So you will just happen to be in the right place at the right time. And if there are any lockdowns or anything going on, it will catch you in the best way possible. And you will very quickly see how this situation is benefiting you. Totally. It's like, in my experience, I was like, for 2 or 3 years, I was decorating my house. And I had just finished a little bit before the lockdown, and I had I was using Zoom for a year. I just got my credit card payment set up on my website like a month before lockdown. So by the time lockdown came, I had everything prepared. I was in the perfect condition to be in lockdown and to just boost my online business.
Yes,
it was just so perfect for me, and like this for many people I know.
I think how many of you guys out there have actually gone through such a change in your world around you that your world is now a different place, but you sense it's better? How many of you guys are going through that at the moment? Like, for example, you may have come to the travesty of losing an old job. For instance, I feel very sorry for the people who are in catering and restaurants and places like this, because a lot of those just disintegrated. Bars, I know a lot of people out here, especially in Benidorm, who had bars and restaurants who just had to go back to the UK and just start again. But some have actually saying that I'm hearing here, I don't know them all, but I'm hearing through other people saying actually they're now feel better because they're back in the UK, they're doing different jobs, they're a bit more refreshed, it's working a different way, and everyone's happy. Because although you're out here in the sun, like any place, whether you're in the UK as well, working in catering, restaurants and that service sector is extremely difficult through these times. But have any of you actually gone through a change where you actually feel now my life's better off? It'd be lovely to hear from you. Here. But yes, I can vouch for myself here. I'm not. I don't really want to talk about me, but or ourselves. But we've actually found that this is where we got Cafe Clairvoyance started off in this particular time. We had the opportunity to go and do this. Yes, here we go. Right, Sally says, I found lockdown cleansing still a way to go. Okay, great. Yes, if there anybody who's left an old type of work and gone into something new, for example, that you actually feel better with? Any of you guys out there got this? Or any other examples you would like to discuss this morning, which would be lovely. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm just looking for going through here. Oh no, wrong one. I'm just looking at here. There it is. That's it. Good. I just got that. I'll come back to that in a second. Right. Maria says heart and blowing a little trumpet there. That's nice. In fact, let's do this nice. Back to you guys. This is to all of you. I think Maria's trying to do that to you all anyway. So that's from Maria to you all out there in the world. Yes, and it's interesting, isn't it? How many people go right? Here we go. Liz Hall says through working on myself, my distant healing is a lot stronger. Magic. It's interesting here because when you work through your head, you're quite limited. When you work through your heart,
and your head will always try to resist change in every way possible. And the best thing we can do is just accept the situation that life is giving you for you to be more you.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's so clear that life doesn't want to harm you. It wants you to be more you. If you resist, life will give you the same energy over and over again. And the more it gives you that same energy, the denser it will get. And the denser it will get, the dire the consequences in the physical realm.
Yes.
So if we actually just accept and embrace change from the beginning, we can really flow through anything that's going on. It's resistance that makes it hard.
Resistance makes it even. It's like you're walking through treacle or walking through oil. It's hard work. It really is. And if you, I feel you're right there. If you start working through your heart and doing something which you actually love doing, something's going to happen there. And this is what I believe as well. Tell me if you agree here. If you start working through the heart energy, if you think about law of attraction, law of energy, law of right and wrong, law of positivity, when you're working through heart, things actually happen for you anyway.
Yes, of course, because when you're not in the heart, you're in the mind. When you're in the mind, you're not embodied. If you're not embodied, then you can't channel abundance. So you can't really attract from your individual self. You're just forming part of like the collective blob, the collective mob, and you manifest, but you manifest from the inertia of the collective, not of the individual. So if you want to manifest life individually, it's very important to be connected to your body and to work from, let yourself be guided by the heart and not the mind. So be guided not by fear, but by love and attraction, by definition. If you're working from the mind and from fear, you can't attract, because attract belongs to the mind, to the heart, sorry. So, and
Okay.
I want to add something to this, which
Yes.
I can't remember if you mentioned it last episode or not, but I read it not long ago, and it's like, together with the law of attraction and intention, so we can attract and we can intend what we want. So there's just one more component about attraction, which is the law of intention, which is imagining yourself not only intending something, not only like, I want a great job where I feel actually wonderful, I want a new relationship or whatever, I want to live in a country where I feel happy with my family, whatever. Also imagine how that creates a win-win situation. So how every person involved and even the community around you will actually benefit from you getting what you want. So you want to imagine how everybody receives, and that will add to the attraction. So if I'm just intending and say, I want a new home, but then my thoughts stop there, it's like, imagine this is my bubble and they stop there, you're not going to manifest. So you want to envision how that home wants you. The people who are selling the home want you. The community where the home is wants you. That will attract, that will pull you towards there. And the intention doesn't have the limit of your own personal energy.
I think what's interesting with this, absolutely interesting in this, is I think that if you actually, so it's interesting. So we're not just doing a law of attraction to say, I'm happy with what I got now, but I also attract whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're doing here. It's not just attracting what it is, it's also how it's going to affect community, people, love, happiness, everything around you. And I think if we're attracting that and sending out that vibration, you're tripling the energy. And that's very interesting. And I think that's a big thing. Because then when you're working about how you're going to affect other people, you're not just working on, say, just the self. You're not working just that. You're also working on other people to be sharing the value of what it is you've got and what it is that you're offering there. I think it's enormous. Okay, thank you very much. Lydia says, Phil, your course has changed my life, which I might not have been able to do before COVID. So that's lovely. Okay, we're doing a mediumship development course. We're still on it. And Lydia, got to say to you here, Lydia said to me at the first 2 sessions during the course of mediumship, she said here, Phil, I don't think I can do this. I'm not as good as the others. I just don't feel that I'm connected where they are. And I wonder if I've actually got the gift, if you've got, we like to call it a gift, where it's a very natural thing anyway. On the 3rd session onwards, there's something snapped about here, and Lydia just went whoom with all this information, and everybody's there just looked wide-eyed, said, Lydia, you are incredible. You've just opened. And that's it. She hasn't stopped. So Lydia, as much as I can say, I think you've changed life for other people, Lydia, because I think who you are now is just incredible. And what the journey that you're on there, I think is just amazing. So I take the thanks. Thank you for saying that about me, but I also say thank you because what you're going to do for people now, it's going to be amazing. So yes, love is love, isn't it? Love is love.
Phil, Eleni says we have to be grateful for what we have and send gratitude to everyone else. Is this the same Eleni who we're going to do a reading for?
Yes.
I would like to add something to that. Should we do the reading now? Should we do it later? Or
yeah. Okay, all right then. Let's go into Eleni now. Eleni now says this, and her question there came through, and she was asking here: should she stay or should she go? And your question, and you've just put us: should we stay or should we go now? Da, 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 da. Okay. Sorry.
Who wrote that song? Is it like Sex Pistols or one of these?
I think it's the Clash. The Clash. We haven't put the right words in there. The lyrics are completely AWOL. They've gone completely wrong.
I can't. But it's like in my mind, and I can't bring it out either.
Yes.
Anyway,
Should.
good song.
It is. Just before we go into Eleni, have a little bit of this. Okay, this is part of the show. We're going to start doing live readings. A few of you have written in here. Thank you very, very much. And be lovely to actually do some of your get some of your stuff here. So let's have a little look here. So Eleni, we're going to get you going here because you say you got me dancing. Well, let's get you dancing in your mind. Let's get you dancing in your mind rather than just say dancing on your feet, because your question there is, and it's interesting here, just to give a little bit of history here, just to go through this here. Eleni, you've been saying on previous times here that you wanted to go abroad to Cyprus, and that you were trying to work with the family to get this going, get this moving. Your heart was in this, your energy was in this. You really wanted to go and move to Cyprus, and now the opportunities come up. And the question comes up, should I stay or should I go? Now, we're not going to we'll start singing again. I know we nearly did it. No, we'll just come back. So, I'm going to say, yes.
And Eleni makes this comment, Eleni, you're making this comment about we have to be grateful for what we have and gratitude and, Eleni. Should I go first, Phil?
Yes, you go first. You go first.
Eleni has Sun and North Node and Venus in lovely Libra. So Libras are like so charming, so nice, so beautiful. I really love Libras. Seriously, I'm not joking. I love Libras. But no, you're not. You're
Libra Moon.
Oh yeah, Libra Moon. Yeah. Okay. So I love Libras. They're so charming and nice. But Libras are nice for other people, but inside their head, oh my God. They're all the time battling each other. It doesn't matter, sun, moon, rising. I find it in all Libras. It's just like a demon and an angel. And I must add that Eleni has Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune in Scorpio. So Scorpio and Pluto, Neptune. So Scorpio is all about, the deep shit. It's all about memories, cellular memories. Yeah, it's cellular memories of traumas, of powerlessness, of I don't know, all the horrible stuff that has happened in the world that is inhabiting your body. So that doesn't necessarily have to have happened to you, but the information is in your body. So then when somebody gets like really over worried about things, oh my God, will this happen, will that happen, and you're trying to protect yourself and your loved ones, what's really happening inside is that the demon, and especially if you're Libra, the demon inside you has some very dark thoughts, and it's like saying, you're not going to be able to, something horrible is going to happen. So there's like an inner assassin inside, and it's like if you want to protect the world from your inner assassin, hence the worry, because we just can't grasp the fact that if we're nice, beautiful, Librian, charming human beings that want everybody to be happy and want peace everywhere, we just can't grasp the fact that inside our mind, in our cellular memories, there's an assassin that would love to kill somebody, And so it's this, especially if you have all that Scorpio energy. So this really it really disturbs our mind. It really just like we can't get around it with the way we framed life in patriarchy, in which emotions don't exist and people really don't understand emotions, and much less deep emotions, which is the cellular memories that we have stored in our body, which reflect the traumas of the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's like, okay, since this can't exist, I have to suppress it.
Yep.
And that's mortifying your life. And all that's happening is that fears come up. Remember, in comes the light, out comes the shit. So if you've planned a beautiful trip to Cyprus, and you're like, oh my God, we're gonna be so happy in Cyprus. In comes the light. So then what's gonna happen? Out comes the shit. Cellular memories of traumatic things. And that's okay. It just has to come out. You just have to feel it. So Eleni made this comment, which is, we have to be grateful. We have to say gratitude, which to me, sorry, Eleni, but I'm Scorpio rising, so I'm very straightforward. It's all about, I don't want to feel the bad stuff. Oh, yes, I'll be thankful. I'll be thankful. I'll look at the good stuff. But you have to look at the bad stuff too. And the bad stuff doesn't mean bad stuff is going to happen. It means just feel it, acknowledge it, and release it. And then it will leave you alone. It's all about that. If we just connect with gratitude without feeling the cellular memories that can be very dark inside our bodies, it's just going to mortify us. It's just going to make our mind go spin like crazy, and we're going to be afraid of everything. And then with that mindset, we're going to create a reality which isn't nice for us. So it's really about feeling it, and also understand, why do nice people have such strong cellular memories? Because nice people are not going to act on it. That means they can feel it and they can clear it for the world, for you, your family, and the world. So if you're a nice person, which I know you are, Eleni,
yes,
you're going to be, it's a good thing that you feel the horrible cellular memories that are in your body, so you can release them for you, for your family, and for the world. You're cleaning the world. All of us who are able to feel those emotions and not act upon them are actually doing a favor to everybody else. So think of it from this perspective.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes, feel the fear and do it anyway. Just go through it. Now, it's interesting here, isn't it? I think it's part of the morning hours. I think it's very interesting. Is where there's a lot out there about law of attraction that just wants to attract gratitude, wants to attract well-being, wants to attract all this lovely stuff. However, astrology will also say here, yes, it's good to go and attract this stuff, to use the benefits of your chart there to go and attract the wonderment. But also here, law of attraction, yes, I think it's a wonderful thing, but also you're dead right. You're dead right. I really feel that you've got to be aware of what isn't so good in your chart, in your life, to acknowledge it, to release it, to learn how to overcome it, rather than just ignoring it. Or else it's almost like the pile of washing in the room, that you acknowledge the rest of the room, but that pile of washing is not going to move until you deal with it.
Exactly.
And I think here, yes.
And the way this works, I'm going to take this analogy with a pile of clothes that is dirty. The way this works is, okay, so we're born into a chart, for example, right? The moment you're born, there's your natal chart. So that chart is going to give the information of the energies that you are going to put on as clothing. Imagine if it's clothing, right?
Yes.
So those energies resonate with different levels. So you can have Pluto Mars, which is the example I always give, which is in a very low level. Pluto Mars is all about abuse and loss of power. At a very high level, Pluto Mars is about true incarnation of your spirit and the power of your spirit to spiritually do things in the world for everybody else.
Yes.
So in between, you have so many these frases. How do you say this?
Levels. Yes.
No, I was gonna say clothes that you put on.
Yes.
Like garments, like
yes.
Fancy dresses.
Shields and things like this.
You have all these fancy dresses that you can wear and all these garments that you can wear. Like some garments are from 200 years ago, and then like from your great-great-grandparents, and then there are some that are a little bit newer but still very old. So it's that pile of clothes that you left in the room. Those are very old garments that are that are broken, that are stinky, that we have to acknowledge them, and we have to understand but we have to put it on to see, okay, does this garment still fit? Does it make any sense to have it? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm feeling the garment, I'm putting it on, and then I'm taking it off and saying, okay, that's it. I'm just gonna, throw it away, give it to charity, release it, let it go. It's not mine anymore. I'm not gonna stick it in the closet. I'm not gonna put it under the bed. I'm not gonna shove it out of sight. I'm just gonna acknowledge it, feel it, sense it, put it on, and let it go, because it's not me. So if I dress like Jack the Ripper, because Jack the Ripper is in my cellular memories, I'm going to dress that. I'm going to go, oh, look, Jack the Ripper. Yeah, but this isn't me anymore. So I'm going to take it off and let it go. This is what we have to do with those cellular memories.
Especially when we're coming to this era now. especially when we come to this era, because it's all change. It's like we're going off one train to go onto a different one, whatever it is, but it's a new journey.
Yeah.
New journal together. Very interesting there, Ellie. Yes, and I'm very interested where we're picking up on this. And I think for all of us here, we're all seeing something about this, which is making probably sense to our consciousness and our heart. That, Ellie, I'd say here, it's interesting. We build ourselves up to something, and just before we go through it, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Yet we're building for this. And Lydia says, thank you. So helpful, so helpful. We'll come back to you, Lydia, in a minute. Right. Okay. So yes, let's go look at your cards here and see what they're saying about this. Should you stay or should you go? It's I can see where you're worry, but your cards here are saying here if Mark Twain, famous poet at the start of the 20th century, he said here, in 10 years' time, you'll look back not at what you achieved, but what you wish you'd done. That sticks out more than anything. Ellie, if you're put in your position here, I am not telling you what to do, but how do you want to feel in 10 years' time when you look back? I did it or I didn't do it. Which one feels good?
Exactly.
Which one feels good? Your cards here are putting you on this pivotal point. And how would that feel if you didn't take that opportunity? How would that feel if you didn't do it? You would look back. I'm not the one to explain that. You are.
Exactly. I did it, she says.
She wants to say, I did it, rather than not do it. Yeah.
If we don't have the experience, life wants us to have experiences. So life says, hey, guys, you got 10 years to have experiences. Like one experience, imagine, okay? So life says, okay, do it today, and you have the experience. And okay, let's go to the next one. So you're just flowing. But then some people go, no, I don't want to have the experience. Just in case, I'm not having the experience. And life goes, okay, so next year we're gonna say, okay, let's have the experience, but it's gonna be a bit denser because you're not really, you're too closed up, and it's not going through you, and you're not having the experience in your body. So then you go, no, I have to resist. I have to make myself secure. I'm going to get a bigger car. I'm going to have an inexpensive insurance. I'm going to go to the doctors every day. I don't want to have the experience, no? Imagine if we're talking about coronavirus. I don't know. It's whatever you're talking about. If you have the experience, the sooner you have the experience, the lighter it will be. The more you defend yourself from experience. And this might be a little bit controversial, but I was talking to my brother the other day. This is his opinion. I'm just voicing it. So, but I think it's very logical. So he did all this studying and looked at all the research and the information and everything. He said, look, the people most affected in Spain, the collectives most affected in Spain by coronavirus are, I think it was the Guardia Civil and not the National Police, and the doctors who attend primary care and not the other ones, old people in old homes, in
old people's
care, in daycare
homes. Yeah.
Old people's home and daycare. And he said, what do they all have in common? Flu jabs. They have been having mandatory flu jabs for the past 10 years. Their immune system, so they've been protecting themselves from all the flus. Their immune system hasn't been working. So because we protect ourselves so much, after 10 years, you're going to have the experience, whether you want it or not. It's just going to go right through all your defenses.
Yes. Isn't that interesting? That is so interesting when you think like that. And also what's going on in your mind that I think chemically, biologically, I think it's a very big point here that all those people had the flu jab and yet their body hasn't had an immune system to react against it. There's also a lot of talk about 5G. I know a lot of people talk about 5G and how radiation through the antenna masts, how I know there's a lot of hypocrisy that says, oh, yes, it's bad stuff. Some say, no, it's not true. But it's there. Whichever way you want to look at, whatever you want to believe in. But the end of the here is, that is an interesting point. That sometimes our bodies need to build up their own immunity to things here to be better with them. I think that's a big point. Maria says, yes, it's
have children. When you have children, when they're tiny, if you overprotect them and don't dirty your hands, clean your hands, do this, don't touch the ground, don't throw that away. Children naturally are on the ground and are going like this all the time. The more they do that, the stronger their immune system.
Absolutely.
We've been preventing children doing that for maybe 40 years or so.
Yeah.
That's just going to deplete the immune system.
Yes, will do. I think this is such an interesting conversation this morning, and sometimes it's just good to have a really, really good chat. But let's go and have a chat to Lydia. Lydia, she's in Cambridgeshire in the UK, and Toma wants to come online and say hello, everybody, from Bucharest in Romania. Lovely, lovely to welcome you on the show here. And it's we also got Philadelphia on the line this morning, and we've also got England, we've got Germany, and we've got Spain and a couple of other countries as well. So it's lovely to see you guys. Okay, so let's go and have a look at Lydia. Now, Lydia's question here is, I'm just going to bring it up here. She's going through quite a lot of change at the moment. And she just wanted to get. Thank you very much. She says that she's getting herself into a little bit of a state. Just wondered whether I could request an astrological reading. Panicking about my exam in 3 weeks, and also worried about finishing my training by October and finding a job, basically career work, over the next 6 months. Quite difficult. So gone for emerald green, which I absolutely love and totally appreciate. You probably get lots of requests, but it's very nice of you to put it in there. But Lydia, let's have a little look at yours here. Now, emerald green, I love the color emerald green because it's very much about healing. Much about healing here, and it is, yes, absolutely about the heart. And also, I would say here, are we in here too much? Are we in here too much? Worry. And if we create too much limitation by worrying here, we're not focusing on what we're taking our heart and learn enough. And also here, I think there's this energy here, which is, and now this is interesting. If I say it like this is energy of failure, but failure is not your failure. It is not. If we step back a little bit here, Lydia, this is about failure that other people try to put on you. It's not yours. It's not yours. So if you're working through your heart, you're going to be going exactly the right direction, exactly the right way, and you'll relax and you'll work on being you rather than focusing on what was and letting go of those old energies. This is very much about this, the situation we're going through now, to release this old energy of family, patriarchy, and all the old past life energies of stress, anxiety, and putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure where we should be just flowing and feeling love through the heart. And if we love doing something, and Lydia, I know you love your work, then love it. Love it. Because that's how you'll learn, through love. That's what I say here just initially. And I've also got your grandmother just stepping through. I'll come back to her in just a minute, but I'll let you go straight over there. Let's go pop down the road to have you and see what's going on there.
So Lydia is a Scorpio. Yeah. With Uranus and Venus in Scorpio. So there you have already a lot of that fidelity to old memories from the past, old traumatic memories. Also Moon in Cancer, just in case, to help the attachment to the past, and the Pluto Moon. So as Phil was saying, often we inherit, sometimes we hear it or we just absorb it from our environment. So maybe your father, your grandfather, they really wanted to do something else, but they did what they had to do. So they have this inner frustration all the time. Also, you have a Lilith in Leo, which says you want to just be creative and do your own thing and be a leader and just show who you really are. And because you were in this family or in this environment where people were not able to do what they wanted to do, because before it was very difficult, like there were very few opportunities work-wise, and it was very limited. Not everybody could be an artist, not everybody could do what they really wanted to, but nowadays that has changed humongously, and you can do whatever you want, whatever your heart wants. So it's all about, Leo is about the expression of the heart. Your Lilith is in Leo, Jupiter in Leo. And a Scorpio, when Scorpio is resonating high, it resonates with Leo because Leo's in Scorpio's 10th house. So it's, how do you show yourself to the world in the world, Scorpio? Like a Leo, just being you, just being happy. So as Phil was saying, you're in the mind because you're not connected to your heart, because you have on you all these memories of failure, fear of failure. And all I can say to you, because you're a Scorpio, and this for all Scorpio, this 2020 is just don't close doors. Just do whatever you're doing let it happen. It doesn't really matter if you fail, if you don't fail, if you we're always doing the right thing at the right time, because we're not really choosing what we do. When we're working from the ego, we're just going by inertia. So imagine you do an exam and you flunk it. That's what had to happen. It wasn't about getting the exam and getting the position or whatever. It was about having the experience of the exam and meeting the people you would meet. So let all doors open. Just go do whatever you have to do, whatever you have in front of you. Just keep on, take it through and see what happens, and see who you meet, and see what other opportunities arise, and see how that develops, and see what the experience you're having is, and how you're finding yourself. So it's all about the trip towards there.
Lovely. Lovely. I think it's beautiful. Also, just to add in there, if we're coming out of the head, we start focusing on the heart. If you're in a room and you're studying in your room and you're trying to create the right atmosphere, what if you were to visualize saturating that room in the most beautiful color, with the most loveliest smell, with the loveliest energy, and you're just in that room, just calmly, just relaxing, being in that lovely color, the room saturated in that lovely color, whether it's a pink or emerald green, the lovely smell of maybe flowers or something that just reminds you of something beautiful, and something that just brings you total peace. So you're relaxed, your heart opens, your mind opens, and everything just flows, and everything just fits, and everything is so natural, so normal, so beautiful. If we're in that energy, Lydia, I get the sneaky feeling you'll do better than better. You'll do super well. Yes, and I think actually just look at your cards here, just having a quick look at your cards, what they're coming up with. Right, your cards here are saying, yes, you're focusing on everybody else. Focus on everybody else at the minute, even other people around you, relationships, things like this. But it's also about focusing just this moment, this time, just on you. Just embrace that color, embrace that energy there, and I think you'll love it. Also, what I'd say here is your grandmother was actually coming through here. She's a lovely idea. Your grandmother was actually coming through here. She wants to let me know. She said, would you understand that when you were very young, would you understand that you're exceptionally creative and exceptionally imaginative and exceptionally wonderful? She just remembers that with you. And she said, just be like this. Just be like this, rather than it's almost like we're trying to be too grown up. Too serious.
Responsible.
Yes, responsible. Too responsible. Yes. Sometimes it's so boring when we say I'm responsible. When you say yeah, I'm happy, people go, oh, yeah, okay, good. Guys, okay, we're coming to the end of the show. This is what we need you to do. Loads of you are written in with your dates and times here, but we need this information before the show starts. So we really thank you here. I can see here by Jean, you've put something in here. And as Amanda has, we need, before the Wednesday show starts, please could you send your information in, because Guillermo needs to work on the setting up your astrology chart. I also need to work on the numerology, so we can actually work professionally in that area there to help you guys and give a really good show. So the guys who have written in before, which was Lydia and Eleni, were able to do your charts there because you put the information before. But everybody else, please do that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed just listening to the show. And it's been absolutely incredible. And just to let you know that next week, I'm on again on Sunday evening, which is at 7 o'clock in the evening over here, and 6 o'clock in the UK. On next Tuesday evening, which is 8 o'clock in the evening in Spain, 7 o'clock UK. America, if you're in Philadelphia, that's going to be about 8 o'clock. It's going to be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The show you'll be able to watch back. We've got an amazing lady from the States. Lazy amazing. She's actually comes from Colorado. And her name is Alessandra Desirio. And she's an entrepreneur. And the rest of it, I'm going to leave as that. But you're going to be in for an amazing show with a very, very, very talented lady who has learned to be in her own power. And she's incredible. I was actually listening to her going, oh my God, this is incredible. So that's next Tuesday evening. And yes, guys, thank you so much for doing the show here. As I say, for next Wednesday, please get your information in before the show starts. But in the meantime, I just like to say, Guillermo, always an exceptional pleasure. And I always love the chats we have. We can go on for hours doing this. It's so interesting, so interesting. And I'd just like to say thank you for everybody who's joined the show. Thank you to my producer, Deborah. She's been managing it in the background and keep all the feed going. And also thanks to you guys. So have a wonderful Wednesday, wherever you are. And see you very soon. Cheerio for now. Oh, big heart and burger. Heart, burger. Vegan burger or vegetarian. You don't want to meet one. There you go, heart. Okay, take care, guys. See you soon. Big love. Mwah.
Bye.